Welcome to Next Game Sortie Series. Now in today's episode, we will go over my results from my run today, which I'm sorry to say did not net me finding the 6th or 7th coffers that we had issues finding with yesterday's run in Zone B. That being said, I did try several things to get them to spawn, so let's quickly go over what I saw, and then I'll show you 2 failed attempts on LeSean, the final boss of Zone B. So at the start of this run, I went right for the Zone A device, teleporting there from the initial device, as the Leech NM was once again not visible on map 1. Now I then quickly casted shadows at device A for a free coffer, and then headed for the Zone B door. Now unlike yesterday's run, I'm going to kill roughly 10 elementals before doing our run around the Zone B map to get the additional 3 non-mob related coffers. Now I had heard that killing 5 fire elementals before killing the Porksy would make him drop the coffer, and yesterday I only killed 4 of them, so I want to go ahead and give this theory a try today. So the kill order in today's run was as follows. I started with the first 8 mobs all being fire elementals. Killed with the first one being a melee hit, the second one we defeated with a water magic burst, the third a physical weapon skill, the fourth another water magic burst, the fifth was a third water magic burst, and on this one a brown coffer spawned. On the 6th fire elemental, we also did a water magic burst. On the 7th, another water magic burst, and on the 8th, another water magic burst, bringing our total to 6 water magic bursts that have finished off mobs up until this point. We then switched to a different camp where I killed the 9th mob, which was a dark elemental, which we killed with a thunder magic burst. The 10th mob was an earth elemental that we used hybrid weapon skills on, and finished off with Blade 2. This spawned a coffer. The 11th mob was a dark elemental that we killed with thunder magic. After that, we decided to go ahead and run around the map to get the next 3 key items that I showed you how to get yesterday in regards to running around and opening all the B gates in order, opening a locked B door, and by using Hooray at the B device. Now by this point in the run, I had roughly 35 minutes left. So I went ahead and found Porksy and killed them with 2-step dark skill chains all the way down, with the final blow being an ice magic burst. Sadly, no chest drop and no sapphire drop. I then went and respawned all of the mobs in Zone B and went and killed one of each of the elemental types that were left in the zone just to see if that would have an effect. So I went and found a thunder elemental and killed it with a physical weapon skill. A wind elemental we killed with water magic burst. A light elemental with ice magic burst. A water elemental with wind magic burst. And for the last one, an ice elemental, which was our 16th elemental kill in this run, with a fire magic burst. We once again did not see that blue coffer spawn that would be our 6th trigger. At this point, I decided to look around for Porksy and kill Porksy one more time, this time with using multi-step light skill chains, with the final blow being a fire magic burst. Once again, sadly, no sapphire drop and no chest drop. I then figured I had about 15 minutes left. Let's go ahead and try and take on LeSean and see just exactly how difficult he's going to be. Now sadly, he ended up being extremely difficult and wiping me 2 different times. Now I'm hopeful that by getting 7 of 7 chests, or by possibly doing some other currently unknown mechanic, that you can weaken LeSean, as these fights weren't even close. In my first attempt, I used the trust of Sylvie, Monborough, Cornelia, Yignis, and the Star Sybil. The main focus here is I had heard that any light skill chain that goes off will basically end your fight, as it will rage LeSean, so I wanted to be sure to not use any trust that would try and skill chain with me. Now, this pull only lasted about a minute, and it was quickly obvious that it was going to be a large challenge, as he was hitting me for hundreds of damage through my shadows with his standard melee hits, stripping my shadows with his other melee hits, and seemed to have a very high counter rate, once again quickly stripping my shadows. He also used an ability called Chokehold that silenced everyone in range and did large amounts of damage to them, which is what led to my quick end in this first attempt. You will note though that I did get a blue proc right after I did my first darkness skill chain. I'm currently unsure on the exact nature of what this blue proc means, but it was obviously triggered by the darkness skill chain, so keep this in mind. After he killed me, I waited for him to return to his spot, and then I got up recasted Re-Raise, and used Majin Valkyrie to quickly reset the fight. I then summoned the trust, different ones this time, of Sylvie, Cornelia, Monborough, Kupipi, and Yignis, to hopefully be able to cure me through all that damage I was seeing, and sadly it still wasn't close to enough. I tried to pull him away from all of my trust this time, giving Monborough, Yignis, Kupipi the distance to not get hit from his AoEs, and just accepting that Sylvie was going to get hit, and that Cornelia, of course, would not get hit by any of these abilities, as she cannot be damaged. Sadly, all of this was not even close to enough, and Chokehold still hit the mages, making for long periods of not being able to cure me. Now, I think to have a chance at this one, I'm going to have to switch to the setup of Sethis, Yoran Oran, Joachim, Kurumuru, and Monborough, keeping all the trust at maximum range and trying to see if I can find positioning that will keep them out of the range of Chokehold. I'm also hopeful that there is something further I can do to weaken him, as in his current form, this fight's going to be more challenging than soloing Omen bosses at first glance. But that's going to be sadly all I have to share from today's run. I'm going to go ahead and give it another shot tomorrow and see what I can get figured out. I hope you're enjoying this, and if this is your first visit to my channel and you enjoyed the content, please be sure to click on the subscribe button under the video and the bell icon next to it to be notified when my future videos are released. That's it for today. Thanks for watching, everyone. We'll see you next time. Stay safe and stay healthy out there.